Everyone noticed her, but no one knew her. Asterisk, when Alina Reyes walked into Millwood High School for the first time, all eyes followed her like she was a walking target. She wasn't flashy or loud. In fact, she barely spoke. But there was something about her, a quiet intensity in her gaze and a stillness in how she carried herself. She wore simple jeans and a long black hoodie that almost swallowed her frame. Asterisk, to most students, that made her weird. Easy prey. Alina wasn't surprised. She'd been the new girl 6 times in the past 4 years. Her mom's job in the military meant she moved every time the wind shifted. New cities, new homes, new lockers, new bullies. Asterisk, Millwood wasn't going to be any different. It started with the small things. The way the others whispered when she walked by, the sideways glances, the laughter that followed her down the hallway. And then there was Maddie Ross, the self-declared queen of 10th grade, blonde, rich, confident, dangerous. Maddie had a following: Taylor, Kaylee, and Zara, each of them armed with cruel jokes and fake smiles. Together, they had ruled the hallways long before Alina arrived, and they didn't like being ignored. Alina's silence bothered them. She didn't laugh at their jokes, didn't play dumb in class, and didn't look impressed by Maddie's expensive phone or designer jacket. She just listened, watched. That made her a problem. Asterisk, the final straw came one Friday during gym. Asterisk. The class was outside doing laps, and Alina had just finished hers when Maddie and her crew cornered her behind the bleachers. There were no teachers in sight. Asterisk, hey, Maddie smirked. Nice hoodie. Is it covering something, or are you just allergic to style? Alina didn't respond. That annoyed Maddie even more. Asterisk, without warning. Taylor reached forward and yanked at the hoodie, pulling it halfway off her shoulder. Laughter erupted. Asterisk, Zara pulled the back, revealing the plain white t-shirt underneath. But Maddie wasn't done. With a wicked grin, she tugged hard, dripping the hem of Alina's shirt up, exposing the scarred skin across her side. Asterisk, the girls froze. So did Alina. In that moment, something shifted. The air around her seemed to crackle. She looked up slowly and locked eyes with Maddie. You shouldn't have done that, Alina said quietly. Asterisk, then she turned and walked away. Rest of the day, the girls laughed louder than usual. Maddie replayed the scene for anyone who'd listen. Asterisk, but beneath their laughter, there was unease. Asterisk, because Alina hadn't flinched. She hadn't cried or shouted. Asterisk, she'd just looked at them, walked off. That kind of calm was terrifying. Asterisk, what? They didn't know what no one at Millwood knew was that Alina had spent 4 years training in Krav Maga, a brutal and effective martial art taught to soldiers in self-defense units. It was her way of coping with being constantly uprooted. Her mother had enrolled her after she got beat up in 6th grade. Since then, Alina had trained almost daily. She didn't believe in fighting to prove a point, but she believed in standing up when it truly mattered. Asterisk, and now it mattered. Monday arrived. Asterisk, the locker room before gym was loud as usual. Maddie and her crew were laughing, talking about the weekend. The air was thick with hairspray and gossip. Alina walked in, hoodie zipped, calm as ever. But today, she didn't keep her distance. She walked right up to Maddie. Apologize. The room went silent. Maddie blinked. Excuse me? Asterisk, for Friday, Alina said, her voice firm. Apologize. Asterisk, Maddie laughed. Are you serious? You gonna do cry, asterisk? No, Alina said. I'm going to give you one last chance. Maddie shoved her hard. Alina stumbled back a step. The room gasped. And then, everything happened fast. Asterisk, Alina ducked under Maddie's next shove, grabbed her wrist, spun her in a tight circle, and flipped her onto the mat with a brutal shoulder throw that echoed through the gym. Asterisk, before Taylor could move, Alina turned and blocked her arm, twisting it behind her back and pushing her gently to her knees. Asterisk, Zara and Kaylee backed off. Wide-eyed and pale, Asterisk, Alina stood calmly over Maddie, who was coughing on the floor, stunned and gasping. Asterisk, I asked for an apology, Lena said. Teachers came running. Phones had already caught everything. Maddie screamed about assault. Taylor tried to deny touching Alina at all. Asterisk, but the footage didn't lie. Asterisk. And neither did the bruises from Friday, the ones Alina had photographed quietly after the attack. Asterisk, the vice principal called Alina into the office. Asterisk, I saw the video. He said, "You know, we have a zero-tolerance policy for violence." "I didn't start it," Alina replied. He looked at her, then sighed. Asterisk, 3-day suspension for them, he said. "You're not in trouble. In fact, thank you for not doing worse." The news spread fast. Asterisk, by the end of the day, the entire school had seen the video. The views on TikTok exploded. People started calling her Silent Storm or Black Hoodie Avenger. Asterisk, and for the first time, Alina walked down the hallway without whispers, only respectful nods, and the occasional "that was amazing." But Alina didn't smile, because revenge wasn't the goal. Justice was. Asterisk, over the next few weeks, things changed. Maddie returned to school quieter, more guarded. Taylor avoided eye contact. Zara even transferred schools. Asterisk and other students, who had once been invisible like Alina, started to speak up. Asterisk, girls who had been mocked for their weight or accent. Boys who got laughed at for stuttering. Alina's calm defiance had given them something no one had before: permission to fight back. Not with fists, asterisk, but with courage. One afternoon, Alina stayed after school to help clean up after art club. A younger girl, maybe a freshman, approached her nervously. Asterisk, "Hey, I just wanted to say thank you for what you did. They used to make fun of me too." Asterisk, Alina looked at her, smiled faintly, and said, "You don't have to let them." Final message. Alina didn't fight because she wanted to hurt someone. She fought because they pushed her too far. Asterisk, and when silence no longer protected her. She stood up with training, with power, and with purpose. Asterisk, they pulled her. Clothes to humiliate her. But she pulled their masks. And behind those masks, cowards, because strength doesn't scream. Asterisk, sometimes. It whispers before it strikes. Asterisk.